So where our story really starts off is the first peoples that came to, or that were here, that long before the colonial powers explored and set up colonies here in the United States. And that is called First Nations, or the Indigenous peoples, Native American Indian. All of these terms mean the same peoples, the first peoples that were here before colonization. So this is often a forgotten part of American literature. A lot of courses, they want to start right out with Jamestown in Virginia. Okay, so, but forgetting that there were people already here for tens of thousands of years, long before the Europeans got here. So we're going to be talking about some of their stories. As you can see, some of the cultural adaptations. Our stories start with Benjamin Franklin, and then we zip right up to Alaska and talk about some of the indigenous peoples and stories from that area. Okay, so the area of First Nations is the least populated, but it is the largest area. And basically, uh, their stories from the past are about surviving in nature. Okay, and they also share their history, which is an unpleasant and unfortunate aspect of American history, to today, to their struggles even today. So we'll be talking more about that in depth. So a couple of things to think about when we think about First Nations today. Of course, this is the map of the United States. And before any of the European colonies were set up, this was all First Nations land. Well, as you can see in blue, these are called Indian nations. And these Indian nations today are semi-sovereign, independent nations. Treaty rights have decimated and their total land and their population. And this is what it's been reduced to today. And this is reflected in their contemporary literature. So this sovereignty idea basically means that they have their own independent country, you could say, within America. So there's 573 recognized Indian nations. They could be called a tribe or a band or pueblos in the United States. They are ethnically and culturally and linguistically diverse. So they have their own kind of way of doing things, and it was sort of tried to be taken away from them in early American history. But now there's a real strong revival to hold on to their languages, to teach their children about their culture, their traditions, etc. Today, in an effort to hold on to those old world values. Okay, so yeah, we basically talked about that. So as you can see here, as an example, this is a Native American police officer. On their tribes, they have their own police. They create their own roads. They collect their own taxes. They have their own schools. And as you can see, the Hanadza that are up part of the Iroquois Nation up in northern New York, near the Canadian border, they have their own passport, which is legally used throughout the world. So yes, today they are independent, sovereign nations within a larger nation. We're also going to be talking about Hawaii again, another Indigenous First Nations area. Beautiful place. They are struggling today to what few Hawaiians or true Hawaiians are left, struggle today to maintain their own independence and culture, and we'll be talking about that as well. So Hawaii is very culturally different than mainland United States, and very big, I would say, Polynesian cultural connections, but today also Japan has had a huge cultural mixing with Hawaiian culture that we know today. Hawaii is more like Asia than any other part of the United States. So in the same way that Yankeedom is very connected to Europe, to England especially, but definitely Europe, Hawaii is the Asian counterpart to that. So a couple of real quick things about Hawaiian culture. This is a very Japanese and Asian idea. So when you enter a house in Hawaii, you have to take your shoes off. Okay. Chopsticks are available in every restaurant. Soy sauce you will find on every restaurant table. Macaroni salad, which is part of a side dish that everybody gets with every meal in a restaurant. Instead of French fries, okay, you might get a scoop of macaroni salad. Rice, okay, again, very much Asian influence. And everybody calls each other either auntie or uncle as a sign of respect. And you've all seen in the movies in Hawaii, they give those beautiful flower, like a necklace that's called a lei. And they still do that even today. So some cultural background for Hawaii, because we're going to be getting there really soon. Okay, so again, a couple of cultural pieces. You wear something we called flip-flops, and instead of sneakers. Okay, flip-flops are beach wear. They're open sandals. White at a funeral, very Asian. They paddle out on their surfboards to honor the whoever has died. You see mostly politicians of Asian ancestry. Something called spam. It's a grocery meat, a canned ham. Okay, part of their cultural cuisine. When you go to visit a home in Hawaii, They usually put the leftovers together, just like in a restaurant, for you to take home. Uh, and so just some of the cultural ideas about Hawaii.